What is up, guys? This is Dan, and today we're going to be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to The Walking Dead Season 8. Today we're going to be doing a recap of the first 99 episodes of The Walking Dead, give our thoughts on just kind of, not really every episode, because we're going back and reviewing some of the older episodes now of The Walking Dead. But we're going to be giving our thoughts on the overall series, and now, looking at it from beginning to, present time. I definitely want to use this poster because this is a great example of where we are now and where we were back then. So, okay, let's get started. The Walking Dead Season 1. Season 1 starts off with Rick getting shot. Of course, he meets Morgan, he tells Rick everything that is going on, and we see a lot of awesome development between Rick trying to find his family. He goes into Atlanta, meets Glenn, finds his, wife, son, all that kind of deal. They do eventually, get overrun by walkers, and they do end up leaving the city. They go to the CDC. Of course, that doesn't work out, and we see the end of Season 1 where they have to flee the CDC and go on the road. Season 2. Season 2 is a great season for The Walking Dead. Season 2 really just, it gets us in that feel of, on the road, not knowing where to go, at the beginning of the season. And it goes from that to the end of the season where they're at a safe, farm, and they get knocked off of it, and I think that is an amazing way to end Season 2. But I gotta say, definitely this season with the deaths, bigger than Season 1 character deaths. I loved what they did with Shane in Season 2. I thought Season 2 had an amazing ending with the death of Shane, also the death of Dale before that. And you also had the whole Sophia story arc when they're looking for her. You had a couple episodes this season at the farm that weren't that good, but for the most part, the season was really good. I do hear a lot of people that hate on this season. I don't know why, because this is such a great season, and actually some people think it's the best season of The Walking Dead, even up to this point. Which, I can understand. It's a great season. But me personally, it's got to be Season 6. So, okay, that's Season 2. They get knocked off the farm, and then, of course, they do get separated in the finale. They find each other again, and I love seeing at the end of Season 2 the introduction of Michonne. I thought that was a great time to bring her into the story. Season 3. Season 3 is the first time where I really just realized that The Walking Dead is the best TV series out there. You get the introduction of the governor, of course, Andrea and Michonne go to Woodbury. Of course, Rick's crew take over the prison. You have some of the stuff with the prisoners, which I thought was great. And of course, that was in Sick and Seed, those two episodes. The stuff with the prisoners was amazing. And I really did enjoy the death of both Lori and T-Dog. Great, out of nowhere character deaths. And very different from the comics, especially Lori. T-Dog wasn't exactly in the comics, so that was fine. But really, I just enjoyed all of it. We got some really awesome stuff where the governor seems like a good guy, but he's really not. We get a couple other things, we get Merle beating up Glenn in Season 3, which was great, taking him and Maggie captive. Of course, Michonne tells Rick about Woodbury. They go and attack in the mid-season finale, and we see the pit fight between Merle and Daryl, them, trying to get out of there. That picks up in the second half of the season. So in the second half of Season 3, we get a really awesome, good amount of character deaths on both sides. Really, it's kind of a war in the second half, I want to say. Group versus group. And we do get the death of Merle in the second half. We get the death of Andrea at the end of the season, which was a very sad, note to end, great season, I want to say. And they end the season really in a weird place for the governor. I wasn't a big fan of the Season 3 finale, but I accepted it. I definitely did after a little while, but I didn't think it was one of the best episodes. Okay, so Season 4. These first 5 episodes of Season 4 with the illness was actually probably the best filler of The Walking Dead. For at least one of the best filler, few episodes I've ever seen in The Walking Dead. I don't like the hospital filler, but this is actually, and I know a lot of people hate when they add stuff into the TV show, like the junkyard and all that stuff, and the Beth stuff. I don't like the Beth stuff, but this illness, oh my god, I was on the edge of my seat. I thought they would have killed off Glenn here, to be honest. I really did. I thought they would have changed it from the comics and kill him off earlier. I didn't know what to think when he was turning blue and all that. I'm like, oh my god. Herschel stepped it up, and then he died later on, but still, really enjoyed it. The 2 Governor episodes, I don't really like the Governor, but I did accept him as a villain. I thought he was pretty good. But Negan is probably the only villain that I actually enjoy. The other villains, in TV shows and anything, I don't really like villains, unless they're interesting characters. Negan, he is an interesting character. That's why I like Negan so much. Same thing with Simon, But the Governor is just, man, these episodes, I got bored. I'll say it. I really did. This was probably the only part in the series where I actually got bored of watching an episode. And those are, so basically what I'm saying is, out of the 99 episodes of The Walking Dead, I've never gotten bored except, I've only gotten bored out of the 99 episodes in 2 of them. So that means that this series is still amazing. But then we get the Too Far Gone episode. We get the death of Herschel, the death of the Governor. The Governor beats up Rick. Michonne gets her revenge, and the prison is destroyed. And then in the second half of the season, they're on the road. They're separated, and they only find each other at Terminus, which I thought was cool. But they make a lot of bottle episodes in the second half of season 4. I know a lot of people don't like bottle episodes, but I personally enjoyed them, except for the fact that Rick is my favorite character, and we did not see Rick very much in the second half. We only saw him in a few episodes. So, in my opinion, that was a little, I thought this half season was good, but I didn't really enjoy Still, to be honest. I thought that was a little filler, and I thought they just kind of put that in there to space out some stuff and, keep the comic book series ahead from the TV show. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the Beth and Daryl episode. And Alone was a decent one, but I didn't really care for that one either. The rest of them, though, The Grove, that one is, people say that is like the best episode of The Walking Dead. I don't think it's the best, in my opinion, but I think it is one of the best because it's just dark. Like, it is dark. Especially after that episode, it accomplishes that The Walking Dead is a dark show. Definitely. So, okay, season 5. Season 5, after they get caught in the Terminus, thing, they get out of there pretty quickly, and, they tear down Terminus. Carol Rambo goes in there. We see some really awesome stuff between, Father Gabriel and Rick at the church, we just want to hold on to our squirrels. I always remember that part because, maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying about everything and there's no church ahead at all. Maybe I'm leading you into a trap so I can steal all your squirrels, Anyway, so then we get the kind of resolution of the hunters. We get the death of Bob, and then we get the Beth Hospital storyline, which I just got a headache of thinking about because this storyline frustrates me. It really does. I don't know what was the purpose. They really, they could have just kept Beth with Daryl, have Beth be with the Claimers with Daryl, and them two kind of talking between each other, talking about how they're gonna get out, and that would have been fine. And then, instead of having this Beth story arc, you could have had like 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of, season 5, those episodes right there, of being on the road, seeing walkers, seeing all these different environments, maybe just, some new survivors that are against our group that they have to fight through in order to get to Washington. I don't know, they could have done something else, because I just thought it was very bland, it didn't change the story aside from the fact that Beth died, which I know a lot of people were very, very sad about, but anyway, so the second half of season 5, we get the death of Tyreese. These episodes right here are kind of downer. I'm not a big fan of them and what happened, what's going on. But the distance, remember when we get into the Alexandria story arc, we see Aaron. Yeah, that was pretty good. And the end of season 5 with Morgan, you get the Peter stuff, you get the death of Noah, and you get the Rick executing Peter and then meeting up with Morgan like 2 seconds after. Great ending for season 5. Now, season 6 is my favorite season of The Walking Dead, just mainly because the amount of great episodes that are in that season, that's the main reason, really. You get the First Time Again episode, which I know a lot of people hated that episode for some reason. They hated like the black and white, and I enjoyed it because it set up No Way Out in so many different ways. It even got to the point where Morgan said sometimes it's safer if there's no way out. You know, I'm like, oh man, they're really teasing that, you know. And they got Corey and man, the Walkers, and man, Greg Nicotero, I think that's like the best episode Greg Nicotero did for like the zombie, zombie stuff. I think that's like the best zombie episode we ever got for The Walking Dead. Like, if you guys know what I mean by, like, that's the best episode that we got for like the zombies and for like the concentration on the zombies. We've gotten some episodes where we see a lot of zombies, but this is probably like the best zombie episode we ever saw. Then we get the Attack of the Wolves. We get the fake out Glenn death. Whatever. But I didn't agree with that either. I thought that was pretty stupid. But it was okay though, because he was alive, but then he got killed off, later on. I'm like, really? Like, dude, he had so many close calls of dying, like Merle and, all that stuff. And then the guy at Terminus almost killing him. And, like, I'm like, oh my God. And he kept picking up baseball bats. And I'm like, it's too predictable. And that's one thing about Glenn being killed off that I hated. I liked the death. I thought it was perfect for the story. But I thought that it was kind of too predictable because he was holding the bat and all that. They could have maybe had Daryl holding, baseball bats, maybe make us think it's Daryl, and then that's when they just keep it the same as the comics. Yeah, I think that's what they should have done, or had somebody else hold the bat or something, so it's not as predictable. Because I thought it was Glenn right before he even died. Like, I'm like, it's Glenn, and, if there's going to be a second character death, it's going to be somebody else, whoever. But I was like, yeah, Glenn is definitely one of them. And, of course, he was. So I'm like, yeah, but anyway, so then we keep going. We get, the No Way Out stuff. That was like probably the peak part of The Walking Dead for me. We get the larger world, we get the saviors, and we get the introduction of Negan, which was amazing. I know a lot of people hated the beard and how skinny he was. I thought he killed it, to be honest. And I can't wait to see the uncensored Season 7 stuff as well. Now, Season 7, a lot of people hated. I'm just going to say, to be honest, I'm not going to say much about this season. It was amazing, in my opinion. I love that feeling of trying to get out of what Negan's, trying to get out of Negan's thumb and trying to rise up. I love that. That struggle of trying to fight back and you can't, and people keep saying no, and you're helpless. You want to fight Negan. I love that. That was amazing. So. And of course, we got tons of character deaths. Sasha, Glenn, Abe, Spencer, Olivia. A lot of deaths going on. A lot of dying this season, for sure. And probably in Season 8 as well. At least I'm hoping, because it's a war season. So, but don't kill off anybody like Rick, which I don't think is possible. So, anyway, guys, that's my recap of The Walking Dead. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys really soon for another TWD vid.